This is probably the weirdest cold email offer I've ever run. It was a brand new candle company who was trying to get into retail stores and wanted us to do outbound for them, reaching out to retail stores saying, hey, do you want our candles in your stores? On paper, this should not have worked. They had no case studies, no social proof, nothing at all. But what ended up happening was we got 355 interested leads, 20 meetings, and they even closed 3 deals, getting into 3 stores. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. You see, most people think that cold email only works for these simple B2B service offers like paid ads or B2B SaaS or SEO or whatever it may be. This was an actual physical product that we were pitching going into retail stores. Literally every single variable was stacked against us because it wasn't a standard quote unquote outbound approach. But like I mentioned, we got them 355 leads, booked them 20 meetings, and closed 3 deals. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we did this for this niche cold email offer. Let's get right into it. So first things first is the actual list itself. How do we go about making this list? Because the issue that we ran into was that a lot of these metaphysical stores, which was one of the niche or one of the ICPs that our client wanted to go after, they're just simply not on Google. Because if you look up like metaphysical store in Apollo, they're not gonna, you're gonna get no results at all. And specifically, they wanted only stores in Minnesota. So what we did was we went to Google Maps, and as you can see, if we type in Minneapolis metaphysical store, there's tons of them. You see how there's so many right here, all in the Minneapolis area. So imagine the entire state. If we were able to scrape it, would be hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of stores that we can go after, right? But the issue is again not on problem. So what we had to do at this time, we were using outscraper.com, and what this will do is this will scrape Google Maps for you, and you just have to put in the input where it's. Let me log in real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. So for Outscraper itself, all we did was we went to services here, went to Google Maps scraper, and you could just type in anything. Imagine this like a Google search bar. So what we did was type in metaphysical supply store, and we put it for all of Minnesota, and we click the one that says cold outreach pack, press get data, and scrape Google Maps. Again, this is very important because if your foundation, which is the list, is not good in terms of targeting, your entire cold email offer copy, it's not going to pan out well. It's not going to be good at all. So you have to make sure that the foundation from the start is very, very good. That way, when you get later on inside the actual cold email setup and workflow, you're good to go. So that's initially how we built the list. Every single one of these was a good fit because they were metaphysical and they were local to the area which our client wanted to go after. Now, for the actual sending infrastructure itself, we used premiuminboxes.com. And this is just a Google reseller, and we were able to just get right into the inbox with these guys. They set up really fast. They're really good. If you want to use my affiliate link, go ahead. I promise I'm not just saying that just because I'm an affiliate, but it's actually really good, and I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to get into cold email. But this is initially what we did for setting up the email inboxes. We didn't really set up Outlook as well because specifically for Outlook, you only really need that if you're going after these or industries where it's commonly used. So if you're, for example, if you're going after healthcare, most of the inboxes that people use there are Outlook, right? But since our demographic and ICP is just Google businesses and local businesses, they're probably going to be using Google anyway. They're not going to use Outlook because Outlook is more enterprise and corporate, I guess you could say. So we felt the need to not even set up Outlook inboxes. We primarily use them for Google, although I think they do have Outlook now. And that's all we did for set up an infrastructure, right? Then what we did, we used Smart Lead for sending out the cold emails. Now, Smart Lead, instantly, there's not too much of a difference. We obviously use Smart Lead, but typically, no matter which one you pick, they'll perform the same. Once we bought the inboxes, premium inboxes actually went ahead and connected to Smart Lead. 2-week warm up, same standard stuff. In case you don't know, you want to warm up the email accounts for 2 weeks. So don't send out any cold emails for 2 weeks because if you immediately start sending out cold emails, you're going to land in spam because Microsoft and Google will be like, okay, this guy just bought his email account yesterday and he's already sending out outreach messages. What is he actually doing? And they'll just mark you as a robot in spam. Instead, you want to slowly warm it up, send 2 the first day, then 5, then 10, and yada, yada, yada. You get my point. But you don't want to send for 2 weeks because obviously you're going to land in spam, right? So that's the second step, which was the actual infrastructure that we used. And my bad. One last thing before I go to the next step. Boring infrastructure means you never have to think about deliverability. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of people nowadays, there's all these SMTP, custom domains, custom email accounts, yada, yada, yada. I say stick to what works. Stick to the best Google service provider you find. For us, it's Premium Inboxes, and the best Outlook service provider that you find, and just stick to it. Like you don't have to go crazy. It's always good to diversify, but you don't have to go, especially if you're sending massive volume. But if you're only sending like 10 or 20,000 cold emails a month, just pick one main one and one backup one, and you're good to go. Pick it. Infrastructure is very boring. People do all this crazy fancy stuff. Pick the boring stuff. The boring stuff scales. Now, I'm going to give away all the secret sauce when it comes to the copy. So here's the copy in front of me right here. And here's what we use to get results like this, where we booked 20 meetings, got 355 interested leads, right? So the copy itself, again, the challenge was we had to make sure we stuck to the brand voice. Aziz, the founder, did not want to come off as salesy because that's just not the type of person he is, and this is more branding than anything else. So think about it. There's no like hard guarantee or benefit or offer that you can pitch besides, hey, our candles are unique and different. So you can't really say we'll boost your store revenue by 50% because it's like okay, yes, maybe that can be possible, but probably not, right? And the issue was how do we tie in everything that we have, stay on brand voice, don't come off as salesy, and then still execute and get the end result. So I'll read the email copy out to you right now. Hey, Name, how do you stand out and make sure your customers see you differently in a more meaningful way? That's something we constantly think about at our node. Our Vedic candles could be a great addition to your store, offering 12 unique life occasions and 17 natural aromas for year-round sales. Each candle support your customer emotionally and psychologically through healing sounds of Vedic mantras. Metaphysical stores like this case study. Now, when we first started working with them, they had no case study, so we just got rid of this. Like we didn't even use this line, but when we got into stores, we used this. But in the beginning, we would pretend this wasn't here. Would it be helpful if I sent over a 2-page overview of the candle? Well, what Aziz did have was a great lead magnet, which is a 2-page overview of the candle. Everybody was like, yes, send me information. Yes, can you show me how this works? Yada, yada, yada. And it worked out really, really good. I'll show you the email copy as well here. It's the same thing. Hey, do you have a retail store where you carry self-care products like candles? If so, I'd like to introduce you to Vedic candles. Our line of Vedic candles, they come in 7 natural aromas, blah, blah, blah. They're tied to this life occasion. Metaphysical stores carry them. Would it help if I share a brief overview? So pretty much it's kind of like the unique selling point here is that there's no other candles like this on the market. They come in, the offer itself was great, which is like the product. I mean, like I said, they have 7 natural aromas, so seven different types of aromas, and they have 12 different life occasions. So like there's life occasions like birth of a new baby, moving into a new home, or start of a new year, whatever it may be. And so people just had not seen or heard anything like this. And on top of that, we had a whole lead magnet that went over it in detail, and people were just like, "Yes, I'd love to see how this works," or can you send me the 2-page overview?" Yada yada yada, and it performed super super well because of the fact that the product was already good in the first place. But the issue was again, how do we create an offer that stays on brand and has an end result without like even sounding crazy? So that's the main selling point that we used was, hey, our candles are very unique. You've probably never even seen anything like this. And we crushed it for him. Let me show you the campaign stats we had. Okay, so if you look at the campaign stats that we had, you'll see that, I don't want to click on this. You'll see that, okay, first campaign, 47 interested leads. Second campaign, 15. Third, we had no, that's not 220. First campaign, 47. Second campaign, 5, not 15, excuse me. Third campaign, 125 interested leads from a single campaign, which is insane. Insane in terms of numbers. We had 62 up here, 13 up here, 4, 4, 4, 24. That's where we started to go around and try different stuff, 32. But you get my point. Like the offer and the product itself is so unique. No one else is like this on the market. And that's the reason why we were able to craft copy. It's just for most of you, have never ever written cold email copy about selling candles or getting your candles sold into a store. And so the issue might be, okay, how do I write copy around this? Boom, you just say sell the ending point, and we crushed it. Let me show you some responses we got as well, where this lady said, yes, of course, I'd be open to hearing about your candles. However, I'm booked until 6 p.m. today. Followed up with her. Why don't you call me December 3rd, this 3rd at 11 o'clock, and then booked a call. Here's another one we had where She said, "Hey, I haven't had a chance for respond to your email. I'll be open to meeting and see if this is a good fit and see if this arrangement sounds good to you." So overall, in terms of copy, like it's performing really really well. It crushed it, and we were able to just get tons and tons of interested leads. And let me actually run you through the numbers in terms of math. So the actual numbers itself is pretty ridiculous. Like I said, 355 leads, booked them 20 meetings, over 20 meetings off of that, and 3 retail deals closed. Now you might be like, why is the discrepancy so big when it comes to leads to actual meetings booked? Again, this guy had a the client had a very specific type of ICP they wanted to work after, but they were very, when you're in the beginner stages, this guy at least, he did not want to just take on everybody because again, he's very brand conscious and he didn't want to just take everybody on, which I respect, I understand. So we had all these leads who might have been a good fit, but he just wasn't open to it. And eventually later on, as we started to grow and scale out the campaign, we actually got, and he was more open to this idea. We booked more calls, and they're still booking more calls to this day. They got in 3 stores so far, just from, or 3 companies, not just stores, 3 companies, and they have multiple stores so far, just based off of our campaign. So overall, it's been a very, very good success story for a very unique offer. And this just goes to show you that no matter what weird industry or offer that you have, cold email always works. It doesn't always have to be marketing, like we'll get you 30 leads in the next 90 days guaranteed. It can be as unique and weird as selling your candles and trying to get them in other stores. So truly incredible stuff. One important caveat, or one important thing I'd also like to point out, is 355 leads, right? A lot of people might be like, well, those leads, leads don't mean anything. The meetings booked matters more. Yes, you are right somewhat, but here's what Aziz said about these leads.
Database that you collect, and just the impact, I would say, the reach, right? As in just being able to reach so many people is a big deal.
So what he's saying there is that you have 355 people that you can reply to and follow up with over the course of years. Like you have 355 people you can just export from Smartly or instantly and put it right into your CRM, and you give it to your sales team or give it to whoever or give it to yourself and just follow up with them constantly forever, pretty much, right? So that's the beauty behind something like this. It's outbound itself. One of the saddest things that people don't realize is, yes, the meetings booked, deals closed, money in the bank, that's what matters the most. But the leads and the CRM and the pipeline you build up is absolutely incredible because Aziz and Art know they had nothing, like literally nothing before this. But now they have over 355 leads that they can constantly follow up with day in and day out, sending out follow-up emails and messages, and they'll eventually probably close even more based off of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the quick breakdown of how we're able to do something like this. Again, to kind of recap everything here. For the list, Google Maps. For the infrastructure, pure Google and Smartly. For the copy and offer itself, the unique selling point was you've never seen candles like this, but we also had to be brand conscious, and we couldn't say some crazy salesy stuff. But the actual copy and offer itself was, we've never seen candles like this. Can I send you a 2-page lead magnet breakdown of what it looks like? And the biggest value add, obviously, the CRM and the pipeline that they built. So hopefully you find this video valuable, and hopefully you get some motivation for whatever weird offer you may have to send out cold emails, even if it's in a weird offer, weird niche. If you find this video valuable, please press like and subscribe. And if you are a B2B business, maybe with a weird offer like this, and you're looking for someone to help you generate more leads and get more clients on demand, click the link in the description below and we can book a time to chat. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a good one. Peace out.